breaking down a really powerful, beginner-friendly system designed specifically for trading gold. It's called the Golden Blueprint. If you want to actually start pulling consistent profit from the gold markets, you are absolutely in the right place, because we're going to build a clear, structured approach right here that totally removes the guesswork.
But before we dive into the weeds, think about this staggering statistic for a second. 90%. Why do 90% of day traders completely blow their accounts? It's a painful reality, and honestly, it's a number that scares a lot of people away. But the answer to why this happens is actually incredibly simple.
It boils down to one brutal truth. Most traders fail because they just don't have a system. They step into the markets relying purely on luck or gut feelings, basically treating the whole thing like a casino. Look, to succeed, you don't need luck. You need a clearly defined system so you aren't just guessing every single time you open up a chart.
So, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover 1. Why most traders fail. 2. The minimalist chart setup. 3. Executing perfect market entries. 4. Bulletproof risk management rules. 5. The daily trading routine. And finally, 6. The golden signal formula. Let's get right into it.
Number 1. Why most traders fail. The overthinking trap.
We have to start by addressing the exact trap that destroys accounts before they even really get going. There's this widespread myth out there that slapping a dozen different indicators on your screen is somehow going to give you a magical edge. In reality, more indicators just equals more confusion. When you have 10 different lines competing for your attention, it leads to massive overthinking and, ultimately, paralyzing confusion.
Let's fix that right now. Number 2. The minimalist chart setup. Only 2 time frames.
Step 1 is setting up your time frames, and you literally only need 2. That's it. The 1-hour chart is used exclusively to figure out the broader trend of the market. Once you have that, you zoom into the 15-minute chart to surgically time your entries. 1 to see the big picture, 1 to execute.
Step 2 is your indicators. To keep things utterly simple and completely dodge that overthinking trap we just talked about, this system strictly relies on just 2 tools. You need the moving average 50 to show us the average price direction and the RSI 14 to measure the market's underlying momentum.
Moving on to number 3. Executing perfect market entries, timing the market.
Okay, listen up, because this is the absolute golden rule of the whole blueprint. You never, ever trade against the trend. You pull up your 1-hour chart. If the price is sitting above that moving average line, the trend is up, and you are only hunting for buys. If the price falls below the line, the trend is down, and you strictly look for sells. Simple, clear, and incredibly powerful.
Now, once you've got your trend confirmed, you've got to sit on your hands for a minute. If the trend is up, do not just smash the buy button immediately. You have to wait for a pullback. A pullback is just waiting for the price to temporarily retrace, let it drop a little bit against that main upward trend before you actually enter. Let the price come to you.
Once that pullback is happening on your 15-minute chart, your exact trigger is the RSI. For a buy setup, you're waiting patiently for the RSI to dip right into that 30 to 40 zone. If you're selling at a downtrend, you wait for the RSI to spike up between 60 and 70. Bam, that is your cue to execute.
Which brings us to number 4. Bulletproof risk management rules. Protect your account.
Look, without this next rule, your account is pretty much guaranteed to blow up eventually. Always use a stop loss. No exceptions. For your buy trades, you tuck that stop loss safely below the recent lows. For your sell trades, anchor it securely above the recent high. This is your shield when the market inevitably does something crazy.
And here is where the math really works in your favor. We strictly use a 1-to-2 risk-to-reward ratio. So, if you're risking a small amount, say 10 pips, your target reward is 20 pips. By always aiming for double what you risk, your winning trades will literally dwarf your losing ones. This is the exact secret to how accounts actually grow over time.
All right, number 5. The daily trading routine. No overtrading.
Real, profitable traders do not sit staring at charts for 12 hours a day. They have a strict routine. They open their charts in the morning, check that 1-hour trend, and mark their key levels. Then, they spend the bulk of their time just waiting patiently. And crucially, they absolutely refuse to overtrade. We're talking maybe 1 or 2 top-tier setups, maximum for the day.
And to really sharpen your edge, here are a few pro tips. Stay out of the market during major news events. It just gets wildly unpredictable. Stick to the high-volume times, like the London and New York sessions. And finally, please always make sure the 15-minute candle actually closes before you jump in. That alone will save you from so many fake market moves.
Let's wrap it all up.
Number 6. The golden signal formula, putting it together.
Let's run through a textbook masterclass example. Step 1. Gold is riding high above the MA50 on the hourly, giving us a clear UP trend. Step 2. You drop down to the 15-minute chart and patiently wait for the price to pull back. Step 3. The exact second that RSI hits 35, right in our sweet spot, you execute a clean buy trade. Stop loss goes below the low, target is set for double the risk. That is perfect execution.
So, if you take nothing else away today, memorize this exact formula. Trend plus pullback plus RSI equals the perfect signal. It really is that straightforward when you finally strip away all the noise.
So here's the final question for you. Are you going to actually take action and apply this golden blueprint to your next trade, or just go back to letting chart chaos slowly drain your account? Think about it. If you want to see these simple, highly effective setups play out in live trades in our next explainer, hit subscribe and comment Gold System down below. Keep it simple out there, and I'll see you next time.